Hi everyone, thank you for coming. My name is Alexis McGill and I am here on behalf of World Vision, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping refugees all over the world with basic necessities such as food, water, health supplies, and much more. According to worldvision.org, quote, 13.5 million people in Syria need humanitarian assistance due to a violent civil war that began in 2011, end quote. Children affected by the Syrian conflict are at risk of becoming ill, malnourished, abused, or exploited. Millions have been forced to quit school. According to worldvision.org, quote, 4.8 million Syrians are refugees and 6.1 million are displaced within Syria. Half of those affected are children, end quote. Peace negotiations continue despite a fraying and piecemeal ceasefire. According to worldvision.org, quote, most Syrian refugees remain in the Middle East, in Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, and Egypt. Slightly more than 10% of the refugees have fled to Europe. At least 100,000 children under siege in Aleppo alone. World Vision staff say the situation in Aleppo City is the most dire they have ever seen it. World Food Program food aid has completely run out for about 250,000 people trapped in besieged eastern Aleppo. Health supplies and clean water are urgently needed. Aid hasn't reached the city since mid-July. Vital supplies and services are in short supply in Syria and in surrounding countries, where more than 4.8 million Syrian refugees have fled. World Vision's work in Syria includes food assistance, primary health care in health facilities and mobile clinics, medical and nutritional aid for women and children, baby care kits for displaced families, water and sanitation services, child protection outreach to communities, and psychosocial care and play for children. So you ask, why are Syrians leaving their homes? Well, since the Syrian civil war began in 2011, as many as 386,000 people have been killed, including nearly 14,000 children, says the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. The war has become more deadly since foreign powers joined the conflict. Also, within Syria, 95% of people lack adequate health care. 70% lack regular access to clean water. Half the children are out of school. The economy is shattered and 4/5 of the population lives in poverty. Finally, Syrian children, the nation's hope for a better future, have lost loved ones, suffered injuries, missed years of schooling, and witnessed unspeakable violence and brutality. Warring parties forcibly recruit children to serve as fighters, human shields, and in support roles, according to the U.S. State Department. How does the war in Syria affect children? Children are susceptible to malnutrition and diseases brought on by poor sanitation, including diarrheal diseases like cholera. Cold weather increases the risk of pneumonia and other respiratory infections. Many refugee children have to work to support their families. Often they labor in dangerous or demeaning circumstances for little pay. Children are more vulnerable to sexual abuse and exploitation in unfamiliar and overcrowded conditions. Without adequate income to support their families and fearful of their daughters being molested, parents, especially single mothers, may opt to arrange marriage for girls some as young as 13. Between 2 million and 3 million Syrian children are not attending school. The UN Children's Agency says the war reversed 10 years of progress in education for Syrian children. So, ladies and gentlemen, help these children and families affected by the Syrian refugee crisis. Donate today. Thank you.